Hi guys, I'm Annie. I have a problem and desperately need your help. But first, let me tell you my story. Reality? Never heard of it! I spent all my free time playing video games. However, the beginning of my story isn't very happy. I had been rock climbing at a gym not far from home ever since I was a kid. My grandmother signed me up for it. She used to be good at it when she was young. Grandma was proud of me and supported me. And I loved reaching new heights. I felt like a superhero or some sort of adventurer like Lara Croft. Come on, just a bit more. And I win! Again! Yay! I was great at it. In fact, I was better than everyone I practiced with. That's Giselle. She was always number 2, but she didn't envy me. Maybe because she was a good friend. High five, baby! You've beaten everyone again! Or maybe it was because she didn't really like climbing at all and only did it because her grandfather made her. By the way, her grandpa was our history teacher. He was so strict that my classmates and I called him Mr. Evil Pants. But one day, events took an unexpected turn. We were preparing for a competition when a new guy joined us. His name was Matthew. Wow, he was gorgeous and had a great sense of humor. Long story short, I fell head over heels for him. But I wasn't the only one. Giselle was drooling over him too. I didn't want to stand in my friend's way. However, Matthew seemed to only be interested in me. Are you, by any chance, Google? You have everything I've been looking for. Giselle was devastated and became rude and distant. Still, I didn't expect her to take revenge on me. Before the start of the next competition, a girl from our group came up to me and said that she had seen Giselle hanging around my safety equipment. I didn't think much of it, even though I really should have. After all, when I got to the top of the climbing wall, my foot suddenly slipped, the cables snapped, and I fell. I was mostly fine, but I broke my leg. What hurt most was my heart because my friend had betrayed me. How could she do that? I was stuck at home for a few months. I thought Matthew would visit me, but he immediately lost all interest in me. It was a double betrayal. I cut those fake friends out of my life. While my leg was healing, I was bored and started playing video games. I got so into it that I didn't stop even after fully recovering. I didn't want to go back to doing sports anymore. Besides, I could jump and climb in video games too, but without the fear of injury. Annie, Mr. Holt called me again. Who? Oh, Mr. Evil Pants. What did he say? He expressed concerns about your academic performance. It's almost the end of the year and your marks keep getting worse. You should take your studies seriously. Oh yeah, by the way, I spent a lot of time playing games and started skipping school. Mom kept lecturing me. It wasn't like she'd been a great student either. But then, something terrible happened. It's a disaster! My computer crashed again and I lost all my achievements! Mom, I need a new computer! She narrowed her eyes slyly and to my surprise, quickly agreed. Okay, Annie, on one condition. There was a catch! Mom said that if I didn't fail any subjects, she would buy me a powerful gaming computer. Pfft. Was that all? I agreed. All I had to do was pass a couple of tests. But the very next day, I realized that it wasn't going to be easy. I hadn't opened any textbooks in a long time and could barely grasp what the teachers were talking about. I don't understand anything. Need some help? That was Jim. He had been in love with me since the first grade. If you look up the word nerd in the dictionary, you will find a photo of him. Thanks, Jim. Some other time. I prepared a bunch of cheat sheets for the next test and hid them under my clothes. I hoped it would work, but Mr. Evil Pants noticed them and scowled. What's that? That's, I got, tattoos? Do you like them? Get out of the classroom! Okay, one failure wouldn't stop me. I would figure out how to pass all the tests. One day, I passed by the climbing gym as I was coming home after school and suddenly realized I missed the good old days. I even thought about coming back there. But then, I saw Matthew and Giselle through the window and came to my senses. No. I could get injured there. I should stick to playing games. And for that, I need a new computer. While I was coming up with new ways to cheat, Mom was lying on the couch and watching TV shows. Of course she was. She wasn't the one struggling. She didn't have to work hard because my rich grandma always gave her money. How was that fair? My resourcefulness helped me pass several tests. But fooling Mr. Evil Pants was impossible. I had to think of something. I'll help you if you go on a date with me. I couldn't do that. No offense, but you're not my type. I had no choice but to start reading the textbook. I'm not gonna lie, it was as hard as beating the final boss in a game. But a new computer was worth it. And I am proud to say that after some time of persistent cramming, I saw the first results. After that, I started learning the other subjects. One day, I even called my grandma to brag after successfully passing an exam. However, I didn't tell her about my deal with my mom. I'm going to become an excellent student soon. Oh, I'm so proud of you, sweetie. Perhaps you could go back to climbing after that? Well, maybe. I need to go, Grandma. Recess is over. I put the phone away and suddenly saw Giselle next to me. Had she been eavesdropping on me? Are you going to come to the climbing gym again? Are you afraid of becoming number 2 again? I know we aren't on the best terms right now, but there is something you should know. At that moment, her grandfather came around the corner. He frowned at us and said that the lesson was about to begin. Giselle looked down and ran away. That was weird, right? At home, I happily told my mom that I'd passed almost all my exams. That meant she would soon have to fulfill her part of the bargain. I've already found the computer I want! I'm glad you've finally come to your senses, Annie. Wow, that's a lot of zeros! Well, I deserve it, don't I? Yes, dear. Of course. I was quite happy and started to get ready for the final history test. I didn't doubt I would nail it. After all, I knew how to win. Mr. Angry Pants glared at everyone in the class and finally at me. What was he up to now? Annie, I got an anonymous call and was told that you were going to bring a lot of cheat sheets today. That's unfair! I cheated last time, but I honestly prepared for this test. To prove my words, I even shook out the contents of my backpack because I had nothing to hide. To my surprise, all sorts of cheat sheets fell out of it. Can you imagine? Where had they come from? I could only gape. The teacher smiled smugly and sent me to the principal's office. I knew you were going to cheat. Was it some sort of survival school? Getting a good grade was almost impossible, cheating or not. Ugh! I had a long and unpleasant conversation with the principal. I almost fell asleep while listening to him. But in the end, I managed to prove that those cheat sheets weren't mine. It's not even my handwriting. Someone set me up. I was allowed to retake the test. I was pretty nervous because the teachers didn't take their eyes off me, but I still nailed it. I showed them all. I still had one last test ahead of me. Even the bookworm Jim was nervously biting his nails as he prepared for it. I needed to find out who had tried to set me up before it happened again. Have you guessed who I suspected yet? That's Snake Giselle! She must have been afraid I would come back to the gym, dethrone her, and become the best climber again. That's why she was trying to ruin my life with her grandfather's help. It pissed me off, and I decided to confront her. I would get my gaming computer no matter what. I found Giselle by the school entrance. She was arguing with her grandpa. After shouting at Mr. Angry Pants, Giselle immediately ran away in tears. That was weird. What could they be fighting about? And then I suddenly ran into Matthew on my way home. Wow, I hadn't seen him since I'd broken my leg. Hi, Eddie. What's up? I heard you're going to take up climbing again. Wow, rumors in our city spread like wildfire. Well, I haven't decided yet. Why are you asking? That's all Giselle's been talking about. I think she's afraid of competition. Watch out for her. I knew it was her! Matthew suggested we have coffee sometime, and we parted. In the evening, I decided to go to bed early because I wanted to rest well before the final test. Good night, Mom. We're going to buy the computer tomorrow. The next day started out crazy. First of all, I overslept. My phone had died and my alarm hadn't worked. I can't be late for the exam. Mom offered me a ride, but then she suddenly discovered someone had slashed her tires. Was Giselle really capable of doing such a thing? However, I'd worked too hard to give up now, so I ran to school as fast as I could. I was just a minute late, but the teachers refused to let me into the classroom. Damn it, it was over! To my surprise, Giselle, who was sitting near the door, noticed and stood up for me. Actually, Annie wasn't late. It's just that she went to a medical center at my request. I was so nervous I got a headache. Please let her take the test. To my surprise, it worked! I was allowed to take the exam and I passed it with flying colors. I came up to Giselle afterwards and tried to find out what she was up to. I don't get it. Do you want to set me up or help me? That surprised Giselle. She said that she'd never wished me harm. She hadn't talked to her grandfather, slashed the tires of my mother's car, or, most importantly, damaged my safety equipment at the competition. I accidentally found out that Matthew really wanted to win that competition and was ready to do anything for it. He cut the rope of the best climber in the group he used to train with. I was number 2 and wasn't in any danger, but I was worried about you. That's why I was checking your equipment back then. That bastard! That coward! He knew he wouldn't beat me honestly. But why didn't you talk to me? I was very angry at you for spreading rumors about me. What? What was she talking about? Just imagine, it turned out Giselle's grandfather had told her I was spreading nasty rumors about her behind her back. What on earth? I don't know why Grandpa would do that. He gets mad whenever he sees me talk to you. Yeah, Mr. Evil Pants deserved his nickname. I was glad Giselle and I talked and made up. We hugged and I told her about my adventures. We tried to figure out who could be messing with me. I thought of Jim. He could be taking revenge on me for refusing to go on a date with him. However, when Giselle and I cornered him, he seemed stunned and swore he would have never done anything like that. Okay, I believe him. Our investigation reached a dead end, and we went home. I finally showed my mom my report card and told her that I had worked hard and was looking forward to getting my reward. She smiled hesitantly and said that she would buy the computer soon. The holidays came. Giselle and I started hanging out together again, and I even came to watch her at the gym. Still, I didn't dare try climbing again. I was terribly angry with Matthew for making me fear something I loved doing. Giselle and I even tried to make him publicly confess he had damaged my equipment, but he only smirked. You won't be able to prove anything. Ugh, that jerk was right. I wanted to start playing a new game as soon as possible, but Mom kept putting off buying me the computer. One day, she finally confessed that she couldn't do it because Grandma had stopped giving her money. Nonsense. I didn't believe my mom and sneaked into her study. She probably kept the money there and was just being greedy. I rummaged through the drawers and found something interesting. Cheat sheets! They looked suspiciously similar to the ones that had fallen out of my backpack. It couldn't be. I confronted Mom, and she had no choice but to admit that she really had wanted me to stop skipping classes, but hadn't expected me to get good marks in every subject. She couldn't afford to buy the computer I wanted, so she had tried to make me fail a couple of tests. She had ratted me out to my teacher, turned off my alarm clock, and even slashed her own tires so that I would be late for the exam. Unbelievable! It made my blood boil. I didn't even know what to say. I called my grandmother to complain, as she came up with a cunning revenge plan. Your mom is quite lazy and got used to me providing for you. Let's teach her a lesson. She told Mom that she would leave her all her money if she could quickly become a top manager. Mom squealed with joy. Meanwhile, I was rubbing my hands together. Mom was about to find out that Grandma and I had arranged quite the obstacle course for her. Mom liked sleeping in, but for the sake of inheritance, she tried to come to work on time. That's where I came in. I turned off her alarm clock, ruined her blouse, and one day, I walked into her study and started to dance behind her back during a Zoom meeting. Mom's colleagues giggled, but she did not understand what was going on at first. God, Annie! You're embarrassing me! Out! Now! I've got to hand it to her, though. Mom did not give up and kept trying. Gradually, she even started to move up the career ladder and did a good project. If I successfully present it to our investors, the position of top manager will be mine! To be honest, I was secretly proud of my mom and was sure that she would succeed. However, it was time for the final test. While she was getting ready for work, I replaced the presentation on her laptop with a video of cats. I'm sure she'll think of something, just like I had to. While she was at work, Grandma and I ordered pizza at Papa John's and got ready to congratulate my mom. We would finally be able to admit we had been messing with her. But my mom came home crying. It turned out that she had been completely lost when she saw the video and failed to present the project. Her boss had gone ballistic and demoted her. Heck. Grandma and I exchanged glances and decided to tell her the truth. But Mom suddenly slammed her fist down on the table. You know what? I'm not giving up. I will try to get the job again. But this time, I'll do it because I like to challenge myself and not for the sake of inheritance. Mom taught me an important lesson. I had been studying to get a computer at first too, but then I grew to like studying. Girls, I'm proud of you. I was so inspired that I finally plucked up the courage to take up rock climbing again. Giselle was very happy about it. Do you know who was upset though? That bastard Matthew. He tried to damage the participants' equipment before a competition again. But I caught him red-handed. Well, what do we have here? He was arrested and had to do community service as punishment. Mom got her dream job and finally bought me a computer. I still like to play video games in my free time. You want to know something funny? I finally found out why Mr. Evil Pants disliked me so much and didn't want Giselle to be friends with me. It turned out that my grandma had always beat him at rock climbing when they were young. Admit it, Paul, I was number one. I lost to you on purpose. Oh, just say you were in love with me, you old rascal. What a pair. They talked and decided not to hold old grudges. My teacher left me alone. Things were looking up, but I didn't tell my mom she had been demoted because of me. Do you think I should confess or leave everything as it is?